Tired of feeling like you're constantly chasing her approval? Exhausted from walking on eggshells? Afraid to express your true self? Afraid to disagree? Afraid to just be? Do you feel like you're losing yourself in the relationship, sacrificing your own needs and desires just to keep the peace? Are you ready to flip the script and become the man she can't ignore? A man who commands respect and admiration simply by being himself. Welcome to Stoic Spirit, the channel dedicated to helping you build unshakable confidence, cultivate inner strength, and live a life of purpose and authenticity. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of Stoics. We're in this together. Today, we're diving deep into 7 Stoic rules that will not only shatter her ego, but will also surprise her completely with the powerful, confident man you've become. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about self-mastery. It's about taking control of your own life, your own emotions, and your own sense of self-worth. It's about becoming the high-value man you were born to be. Drop a comment below if you're ready to reclaim your power, and stick around until the very end for the most valuable lesson of all. Let's dive in. 1. Stop seeking her validation. Reclaim your power. The magnetism of self-sufficiency. Men, let's talk about a silent killer of confidence, a hidden shackle that binds you to her whims and whispers, seeking validation. It's a pervasive trap in the modern dating landscape, this constant craving for her approval, this desperate need for her to tell you that you're good enough, funny enough, handsome enough, worthy enough. But here's the brutal truth. Seeking validation is a weakness. It's a subtle surrender of your power, a silent admission that your self-worth hinges on her opinion, on her fleeting attention, on her fickle approval. It puts her in control, turning you into a puppet, dancing to the tune of her desires. Think about it. How often do you find yourself crafting the perfect text, agonizing over the right emoji, meticulously curating your social media presence, all in the hopes of eliciting a positive reaction from her? How often do you silence your own opinions, downplay your accomplishments, or agree with things you don't actually believe, just to avoid rocking the boat and risking her disapproval? This constant chasing, this perpetual seeking of external validation, is not only exhausting, but also deeply disempowering. It erodes your sense of self, leaving you feeling insecure, anxious, and perpetually inadequate. It's time to break free from this insidious cycle. Stop chasing her approval and start investing in your own self-worth. This is the key to reclaiming your power, to becoming the man you want to be, regardless of what she thinks. Cultivate your passions, pursue your goals, build a life that is rich, fulfilling, and independent of her validation. Hit the gym, learn a new skill, read a book, connect with friends who uplift and inspire you. Invest in yourself, not in her perception of you. And here's the paradoxical truth. The less you need her, the more she'll want you. When you stop seeking her validation, you become a mystery, a challenge, a man who is secure in his own worth, a man who doesn't need her approval to feel complete. This self-sufficiency is magnetic. It's the quiet confidence that speaks volumes, the unspoken message that says, I am enough. And that, my friend, is irresistible. It's the kind of strength that draws women in, the kind of power that makes you stand out from the crowd of men desperately vying for her attention. Reclaim your power. Invest in yourself. Become the man who doesn't need to be validated, and watch as she becomes captivated by the man you've become. 2. The power of silence. Speak volumes without saying a word, the unspoken language of strength. In our hyper-connected, over-communicating world, silence has become a rare and precious commodity. We're bombarded with noise, notifications, messages, social media updates, a constant barrage of information vying for our attention. And in this cacophony, we've forgotten the power of silence, the unspoken language of strength, the subtle art of saying more by saying less. Especially when it comes to dealing with a woman's ego, silence isn't weakness, it's a strategic advantage. Think about it. How often do you find yourself over-explaining, justifying your actions, or arguing your point of view, hoping to win her approval or understanding? How often do you fill the silence with nervous chatter, desperate to avoid any awkward pauses or perceived disapproval? This constant need to fill the airwaves with words often betrays insecurity, a lack of self-assurance, a desperate need for external validation. But silence? Silence is strength. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your own worth, the unshakable self-belief that doesn't require constant affirmation. It's the stillness amidst the storm, the calm amidst the chaos. It's the unspoken message that says, I am not fazed by your silence. I am not intimidated by your games. I am in control. Silence is control. It allows you to observe, to assess, to respond with intention rather than reaction. It gives you the space to detach from her emotional whirlwind and maintain your own center of gravity. It prevents you from getting drawn into pointless arguments, drama, or games of manipulation. Silence is mystery. It's the intriguing enigma that piques her curiosity, the unspoken question that lingers in the air. When you're not constantly filling the silence with words, you create a space for her imagination to wander, for her to wonder what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're up to. This mystery can be far more alluring than any carefully crafted words. Master the art of silence and watch her curiosity ignite. Practice the discipline of holding back, of resisting the urge to fill every void with chatter. Embrace the power of the pause, the eloquence of the unspoken word. Let your silence speak volumes, conveying a strength, a confidence, and a self-possession that no amount of words could ever express. This is the language of true power, the silent symphony that resonates deep within the feminine soul. 3. Build an irresistible life. Become the man she can't resist. The magnetism of a life on fire. Gentlemen, let's talk about the most powerful aphrodisiac, the most potent attractant, the one thing that will make you truly irresistible to women, a life that is on fire. This isn't about accumulating wealth, driving a fancy car, or having a six-pack, although those things certainly don't hurt. It's about something far deeper, far more compelling. Building a life that is filled with purpose, passion, and a genuine zest for living. Women are drawn to men who have a fire in their belly, a spark in their eyes, a man who is driven by a mission bigger than himself. Building your empire doesn't necessarily mean becoming a CEO or a millionaire. Although it could, it means building a life that you are proud of, a life that reflects your values, your passions, and your unique vision. It's about setting ambitious goals, pursuing your dreams with relentless determination, and creating a life that is so rich and fulfilling that it draws others in like moths to a flame. What are you passionate about? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What makes your heart beat faster? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Identify your passions and pour your energy into them. Learn a new skill. Start a side hustle. Volunteer for a cause you believe in. Travel the world. Create art. Build something with your own two hands. The possibilities are endless. Become the man you've always dreamed of being. This is your chance to shed the skin of mediocrity, to break free from the shackles of societal expectations, and to embrace the full potential that lies within you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for her validation. Start now. Take action. Every step you take towards building your empire, towards becoming the best version of yourself, is a step towards becoming irresistible. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about uncovering the hidden depths of your own potential and allowing that brilliance to shine. When you're living a life that is aligned with your purpose, your passions, and your values, you radiate a magnetic energy that draws others in. Women are drawn to this energy, this sense of purpose, this unwavering self-belief. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves, something exciting, something meaningful, and they instinctively recognize that a man who is living a life on fire is a man worth knowing. 4. Boundaries. The foundation of respect. The art of drawing the line. Men, let's talk about boundaries. Those invisible lines in the sand that separate your self-respect from her entitlement. Boundaries aren't about controlling her. They're about respecting yourself. They are the non-negotiable standards you set for how you expect to be treated. The unwavering lines you draw that protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. And in the often turbulent waters of dating, having strong boundaries is not just important. It's essential. Think about it. How often have you allowed someone to walk all over you, to disrespect your time, to disregard your feelings, all in the name of keeping the peace or avoiding conflict. How often have you said yes when you really meant no, sacrificing your own needs and desires for the sake of someone else's approval? This pattern of people-pleasing, this lack of clear boundaries, not only erodes your self-respect but also diminishes your value in her eyes. Women, whether they consciously realize it or not, are drawn to men who have strong boundaries. It's a primal, instinctive attraction to strength, to self-assurance, to a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to stand up for it. Boundaries aren't about being controlling or inflexible. They're about having a deep sense of self-respect and communicating that respect to the world. Set clear limits. Define what you will and will not tolerate in a relationship. This could include anything from how she communicates with you, to how she respects your time, to how she interacts with your friends and family. These limits should be non-negotiable, reflecting your core values and your unwavering commitment to your own well-being. Enforce these boundaries without apology. This is where many men falter. They set boundaries in their minds, but when those boundaries are crossed, they hesitate, they make excuses, they back down. This inconsistency not only weakens your position, but also undermines her respect for you. When you enforce your boundaries calmly and consistently, you're sending a clear message. I respect myself, and I expect you to do the same. This commands respect and sets you apart from the crowd of men who are willing to compromise their values for the sake of approval. It shows her that you are a man of integrity, a man who knows what he stands for, and a man who is worthy of her respect and admiration. And that, gentlemen, is the foundation of a healthy, fulfilling, and truly magnetic relationship. 5. Emotional detachment. The art of untouchability, reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. In the turbulent arena of dating, where emotions often run high and mind games abound, one of the most powerful weapons in your arsenal is the art of emotional detachment. This isn't about becoming cold, heartless, or uncaring. It's about reclaiming your emotional sovereignty, about refusing to allow her moods, her manipulations, or her silence to dictate your emotional state. Emotional reactivity in this context is weakness. It's a vulnerability that she can exploit, a chink in your armor that allows her to control the dynamic of the interaction. Think about it. How often have you found yourself on an emotional roller coaster, riding the highs of her attention and plummeting into the depths of despair when she withdraws? How often have you allowed her silence, her anger, or her indifference to dictate your mood, your actions, and your sense of self-worth? This reactivity, this emotional dependence, is not only exhausting but also deeply disempowering. It gives her the upper hand, allowing her to control the emotional thermostat of the relationship. Detachment, on the other hand, is power. It's the ability to observe her emotions without getting swept away by them, to acknowledge her feelings without internalizing them, to respond with logic and reason rather than reacting with emotion and impulse. It's about creating a space between her emotional whirlwind and your own inner calm, a space where you can maintain your composure, your clarity, and your sense of self. Stop letting her emotions control you. This is the key to reclaiming your power. When you detach, you're no longer at the mercy of her moods. Her silence doesn't rattle you, her anger doesn't trigger you, her indifference doesn't diminish you. You become untouchable. A man who is grounded in his own sense of self-worth, a man who is impervious to her emotional games. And here's the fascinating paradox. When you detach emotionally, you become more attractive. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about genuine self-possession. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally stable, men who are not easily swayed by their emotions, men who are in control of themselves. This quiet strength, this emotional mastery, is incredibly magnetic. It signals maturity, self-assurance, and a deep sense of inner peace, qualities that are far more alluring than any desperate plea for attention or validation. So, cultivate the art of untouchability. Reclaim your emotional sovereignty, and watch as her attraction grows, not because you're chasing her, but because you're mastering yourself. 6. Unapologetic authenticity. Embrace your true self, the irresistible power of congruence. Men in a world obsessed with curated personas and carefully crafted online identities, there's a powerful, almost rebellious act that will set you apart. Embracing your unapologetic authenticity. Authenticity is magnetic. It's the raw, unfiltered expression of your true self, the courageous unveiling of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs without the need for approval or validation. It's about stripping away the masks, shedding the pretenses, and standing tall in the fullness of who you are, flaws and all. Stop hiding your true self. For too long, you've been told to be nice, to be agreeable, to suppress your opinions, to avoid conflict at all costs. You've been conditioned to believe that fitting in, conforming to societal expectations, and being the good guy is the key to winning her over. But here's the truth. That's a lie. Women are not attracted to watered-down versions of men. They're drawn to authenticity, to the raw, unfiltered essence of who you are. Embrace your opinions, your values, and your passions without apology. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, even if it means disagreeing with her. Don't shy away from expressing your passions, even if they seem unconventional or uncool. Don't compromise your values to fit in or gain approval. Stand firm in your beliefs, knowing that your authenticity is your strength, not your weakness. This unapologetic embrace of your true self is what sets you apart from the crowd of men who are constantly trying to be someone they're not. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. The unshakable self-belief that doesn't require external validation. This congruence between your inner world and your outer expression is incredibly powerful. It creates a sense of integrity, a sense of realness that is deeply attractive to women. They're drawn to this authenticity because it's a reflection of inner strength, of emotional maturity, and of a man who is comfortable in his own skin. When you're authentic, you're not trying to impress anyone, you're simply being yourself. And that, my friend, is the most impressive thing you can do. It's the raw, unfiltered energy that sparks connection, ignites passion, and builds genuine intimacy. So embrace your true self, let your authentic light shine, and watch as you attract the kind of woman who values you not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are. This is the power of unapologetic authenticity. 7. Conquer your own ego. The ultimate freedom, the path to unconditional self-worth. Let's talk about the ultimate battle, the one that determines your success, not just in relationships, but in every aspect of your life. The battle against your own ego. We often focus on breaking her ego, on dismantling her defenses, on winning the power struggle. But here's the truth. Her ego isn't the real problem. Yours is. Your ego is the source of your insecurity, your jealousy, your need for validation, your fear of rejection. It's the voice in your head that constantly compares you to others, that tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. And until you conquer this internal battle, you'll never truly be free. Breaking free from your ego isn't about becoming passive or indifferent. It's about reclaiming your power, about shifting your focus from external validation to internal self-worth. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't come from what you have, what you do, or what others think of you. It comes from who you are at your core. Your ego is the mask you wear to protect yourself from vulnerability, from the fear of being seen, of being judged, of being rejected. It's the carefully constructed persona you present to the world, the idealized version of yourself that you hope will win approval and admiration. But this facade is a prison, trapping you in a cycle of insecurity, anxiety, and a constant need for external validation. When you let go of your ego, you step out of this prison and into the light of your true self. You stop needing to prove yourself, to impress others, to win the approval of women. You become free to be yourself, flaws and all. You embrace your imperfections, your vulnerabilities, your unique quirks. And you realize that these are not weaknesses, but rather the very things that make you human, that make you relatable, that make you real. This authenticity, this vulnerability is the key to unlocking true confidence and unshakable self-worth. It's the freedom that comes from knowing your value doesn't depend on external circumstances, on the opinions of others, or on the fleeting validation of a woman. It's the quiet strength that comes from within, the unwavering self-belief that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace, resilience, and a deep sense of inner peace. Conquer your ego, and you conquer the world. This is the ultimate freedom, the the path to unconditional self-worth, and the key to becoming the man you are always meant to be. These 7 Stoic rules are your roadmap to becoming a high-value man, a man who commands respect, inspires admiration, and attracts the kind of woman who recognizes and appreciates his worth. This isn't about breaking her ego, it's about building your empire. It's about cultivating inner strength, unshakable confidence, and unwavering self-belief. It's about becoming the most authentic, powerful, and irresistible version of yourself. So, are you ready to step up and become the man you were born to be? Hit that like button if this video resonated with you, and share it with a brother who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Spirit for more Stoic wisdom on mastering your mind, your relationships, and your life. Remember, the power to transform your life lies within you. Now go out there and unleash it.